Mr. Turner, I know this is overwhelming, but I need you to trust me. This is my first murder trial, but I'm not going into it unprepared. I believe you.
They think I killed him, Marcus. I didn't even own a weapon. I don't understand how any of this happened.
The prosecution's case rests entirely on witness testimony and circumstantial evidence. No weapon was ever recovered, correct? Correct. Then we focus on reasonable doubt. Walk me through that night one more time, exactly as you remember it.
I left the party around 11. I walked home alone, it's only 6 blocks. I didn't see Danny again after we argued at the party.
That argument is going to come up repeatedly. We need to address it directly instead of avoiding it.
It was about money he owed me. Nothing violent, just words. I swear, Marcus, just words.
I believe you. Now let's talk about the timeline the police built. Something about it doesn't add up.
Marcus, first murder trial as lead counsel. You ready for this?
As ready as I can be, Diana. The evidence against Ethan is thin, but thin doesn't always win in front of a jury.
No, it doesn't. Juries want a story that makes sense. Give them a better story than the prosecution's.
That's exactly my plan. Their timeline has Ethan at the scene at 11:40.
His last confirmed sighting was leaving the party at 11:05.
Plausible but not proven. I want to know exactly how they built that 11:40 timestamp.
Then that's where you start pulling threads, Marcus. Find the weak point and pull until something gives.
Your Honor, the state calls Detective Sarah Lynn to the stand.
I responded to the scene at 12:15 a.m. The victim, Daniel Foster, was found with a single stab wound.
Detective, what evidence connected the defendant to the scene during that window?
A neighbor reported seeing a man matching the defendant's description near the alley at approximately 11:40 p.m.
Thank you, Detective. Your witness, counsel. Detective Lynn, this neighbor, Mr. Grady, how far was he from the alley when he made this observation?
Approximately 50 feet, based on his statement.
50 feet, at night, in November. What was the lighting condition at that distance?
There was a street lamp nearby, but I couldn't specify the exact lighting conditions from his written statement alone.
So you're relying on a distant, nighttime observation without verifying the actual visibility conditions yourself?
I relied on the witness's own account of what he saw.
Detective, did Mr. Grady initially describe the man's clothing as a dark jacket?
Or specifically identify my client's jacket by brand and color.
3 days later, did anything happen between the initial statement and that follow-up interview that might have influenced his memory?
He was shown photographs of potential suspects. Standard procedure for follow-up identification.
Including a photograph of my client wearing that specific jacket?
Yes, that photograph was included in the array shown to him.
So a witness who initially described only a generic dark jacket suddenly specified brand and color after seeing my client's photo in that exact jacket.
Objection, Your Honor. Counsel is testifying, not questioning.
Sustained. Rephrase the question. Counsel.
Sir. Detective Lynn.
Is it standard procedure to show a witness a photograph of a suspect before finalizing details of their identification? Good start, Marcus.
You got Lynn to admit the identification process wasn't textbook. That's a real thread.
It's a thread, but I need more than...
Here.
What about the coroner's report?
Time of death is still just an estimate, not a certainty. I have Dr.
Then that's your next thread to pull. Prepare thoroughly, Marcus. This case might hinge entirely on minutes, not hours.
Your Honor, the state calls forensic technician Robert Nguyen.
I processed the scene for physical evidence. We recovered fibers from the victim's clothing consistent with a dark synthetic material.
Were these fibers matched to any specific source? They were consistent with common synthetic jacket materials, widely available and not uniquely traceable to a specific brand or individual. Mr. Nguyen, you said these fibers are consistent with common synthetic materials. How many brands produce jackets using this specific fiber composition? So these fibers could have come from thousands of jackets sold in this city alone, is that fair to say? That's a fair characterization, yes. Did you find any fibers that could be conclusively matched to my client's specific jacket, down to a unique identifying characteristic? No,
Based on rigor mortis progression and body temperature at the time of examination, I estimated time of death between 11:30 p.m. and midnight.
Dr. Patel,
how precise is that estimation method under real-world, non-laboratory conditions?
It's an estimate with a margin of...
If the alley that night was notably colder than average,
How might that affect your estimated window? Colder temperatures can slow decomposition.
earlier, meaning potentially before 11:30 p.m.?
Potentially, yes, depending on the exact temperature differential that night.
Doctor, do you have access to the exact recorded temperature at that location during the relevant hours?
I don't have that specific data personally, but Weather Service records would...
Your Honor, I'd like to submit Weather Service records from that night as Defense Exhibit 12.
Any objection, counsel?
No objection, Your Honor.
Exhibit 12 is admitted.
Dr. Patel, according to these records, the temperature at 11 p.m. was 31 degrees Fahrenheit.
Notably colder than the seasonal average.
11 p.m. My client's confirmed location at 11 p.m., according to multiple witnesses, was still at the party, 6 blocks from that alley.
Objection, Your Honor. Counsel is testifying again.
Sustained, but noted for the jury's consideration during closing arguments.
Sir,
What about the actual argument between Ethan and the victim?
Have you found anyone who witnessed how it actually ended?
I have one more witness.
Your Honor, defense's witness wasn't disclosed until late in discovery. I have concerns about proper notice.
Counsel, explain the late disclosure.
Your Honor, this witness came forward only recently after seeing news coverage of the trial.
I'll allow the testimony, but the prosecution will have full opportunity to cross-examine thoroughly.
I was at the party that night. I saw Ethan and Danny arguing, but I also saw how it ended.
Miss Moore, please describe exactly what you witnessed.
Ethan told Danny to forget about the money, said it wasn't worth the friendship. They actually hugged before Ethan left.
They hugged. Did Ethan appear angry or violent at any point during this exchange?
Not at all. If anything, he seemed relieved the argument was over.
Miss Moore, why didn't you come forward sooner with this information?
I didn't realize it mattered until I saw news coverage mentioning the argument as a motive.
Miss Moore, how well do you actually know the defendant?
We're acquaintances through mutual friends. I wouldn't call us close.
Not close enough to have a reason to protect him with a convenient story now, 3 months after the fact?
I'm not protecting anyone. I'm telling you what I actually saw that night.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Ladies and gentlemen, the prosecution built a timeline on a witness identification process that even Detective Lynn admitted wasn't standard procedure. Jennifer Moore testified that Ethan and Danny reconciled that night, hugging before parting ways in good spirits. The prosecution needs you to believe beyond reasonable doubt. What you've heard today isn't certainty. It's a series of assumptions stacked on top of each other.
The defense wants you to focus on minutes and temperature charts, but ask yourselves this: why would a witness who barely knows the defendant suddenly appear months later with a story that conveniently clears him?
Detective Lynn's identification process may not have been perfect, but perfect isn't the standard. Reasonable certainty is, and a man matching
The jury will now deliberate. Please review all evidence and testimony carefully before reaching your verdict.
Ethan, whatever happens now, we gave them every reason to doubt their own case. That's all I could control.
Marcus, juries are unpredictable, but you built genuine reasonable doubt today.
I just hope it was enough, Diana. Ethan's entire life is sitting in that deliberation room right now.
Your Honor, we the jury find the defendant, Ethan Turner, not guilty.
Marcus, I don't know how to thank you. I really don't.
You don't have to thank me, Ethan. The evidence just needed someone willing to actually examine it instead of accepting it at face value.
Your first murder trial, Marcus, and an acquittal built on careful,
Methodical cross-examination. That's not luck.
You will be. Today proved you already have exactly what this job requires.